Today's video sponsor is brought to you by Aero Precision. If you haven't heard of Aero Precision, you've probably been living under a rock. Aero Precision is a manufacturer of high quality AR-15 and AR-15 accessories, as well as some long range stuff. They sent out some products for us to do a video on. Can't thank them enough for sending these out. It's gonna be an honest review, and let's get into it. All right, so Aero Precision sent us out an Aero Solus, which is their new line of bolt rifles. These things are phenomenal for the price point, and I cannot stress that enough. When they first sent one of these out for me, they wanted us to do more of a detailed long range video to actually show the performance of this rifle, and that's what we're going to do today. The stock rifle I've kind of changed up a little bit since I've had it. It's been quite a while since I've had this thing, and I apologize dearly. Every time I went to do a video, it was either extremely windy, the weather was bad, my cameraman couldn't make it, my hands fell off, and just a whole other variety of excuses, and I apologize dearly. But we're gonna make up for it today. I've changed some stuff since then because I've been running this thing pretty heavily. Originally, the build is a 20-inch 6.5 Creedmoor on their Aero Solus action with their Aero Solus chassis system. I have actually taken it out of this chassis system and inserted it into a spur for the sole fact is that I like a really heavy gun. Doing PRS barricade work and things like that, I've found that the heavier the better for me because I do a lot of free recoil stuff, and that's truly the only reason why I've taken it out of this chassis system is because they don't have a weight kit for it yet. Which I believe they are making, so stand by on that. See, I actually really like this chassis, the way it's designed. It's got a barricade stop built into the action. You have a full M-lock on the front and the bottom. You have an ARCA rail built in, as well as QD sling swivel spots on the front. You have an adjustable magazine catch, which this chassis doesn't even have. This is really handy depending on if you're wanting to run like Magpul mags or AICS mags of different variety. They're not all gonna fit your action the same, so this is a huge plus. You get a vert pistol grip, which is awesome. You don't wanna be squeezing your hands, obviously don't have that problem, but the more muscles you're using to grip a pistol grip or at an angle or something like that is more movement you're gonna see in your reticle, which is no bueno. They have a thumb rest, and it's also an ambidextrous mag release as well, which is really cool. The best part about this chassis, in my opinion, is the quick adjust, I would say, length of pull and cheek riser setting. So you kind of loosen this knob up, have it loose, depress, and you can adjust wherever you want it. It has multiple settings. You lock it back down and you're good to go. Really easy to use and really solid. I have noticed that the cheek riser maybe could use some indentions into the actual cheek piece itself as far as notches go, so that it doesn't depress over time. Like if I get on my gun pretty heavy, sometimes it slides around, but that's minimal and that's not the end of the world. I know they're also adding a folding system to this chassis as well that you can purchase as an upgrade and just attach in between the existing stock and the chassis, and now you have a folder, which is slick. Same with the buttstock is that quick adjust system where you can loosen it up, depress the spring, and move it to your liking. And you can also keep it loose. So like one of the best parts about the spur chassis is its quick length of pull system. So whenever you're going prone versus barricade, stuff like that, you can actually adjust it to your proper length of pull so you have proper eye relief. You can do the same with this setup by leaving this bolt loose, adjust, 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 and just leave it because it's not gonna actually go anywhere. You have to depress the knob for it to move. So that's a really sick design on a budget in nub quote chassis system. I think this thing is phenomenal. I'm actually going to be building my girlfriend a hunting rifle off of this chassis. I'm going to buy another Aero Solus action, which we're about to talk about, and slap in here with a lightweight barrel and build a hunting gun out of it. And it also has a bag rider, which bag riders are the shit, and if you don't have one on your chassis, you need one. So that is this chassis system, the Aero Solus competition chassis. Again, the only reason I took it off was because I wanted more weight so that I could do some cool stuff that we're going to do in today's video. So huge congrats to Aero for coming out with this thing. It's such a great price point. It is phenomenal. So let's talk about the action. The action, in my opinion, is the most innovative thing on this rifle. You get so much bang for your buck with this action, it's kind of ridiculous. So let's start with the front of it. You get an internal recoil lug, as well as it takes Zermatt Origin pre-fit barrels. And there's so many different manufacturers for Zermatt pre-fits, whether it's Proof Research or ballistic advantage or whatever type that you would like, they can slap it right on into this action. As long as you have one of their action wrenches, you're good to go, and those are like 40 bucks. So super sick on the pre-fits and the internal recoil lug. You have a built-in 20 MOA rail to the action, so you don't have to go and purchase your own action, and it's a 60-degree throw. I'm a huge fan of the 60-degree throws. I would much rather come here and have a little bit heavier bolt lift than come all the way up to cycle my bolt. It's so much faster, in my opinion, and for having no hands, it's absolutely the shit. And did I mention the price point? It's literally like $8.99 MSRP, and I'm pretty sure they're on sale. You look at the other actions on the market, like something that has all of these features, something like a Terminus Zeus, which I run on my actual match gun, it's like $2 grand for just the action alone. Kudos to them for coming out with such a badass action with all the bells and whistles. Insane. The trigger that they have stock on their competition rifle is a Trigger Tech Black, I believe. It is an adjustable trigger from, I believe, 1 pound to 4 pounds. Don't quote me on that. I'll have the actual specs on the video. But it's really nice trigger. I run Trigger Tech Diamonds on all of my comp guns, and they're set at like 4 to 8 ounces. But even with this trigger set at like 1 pound, still phenomenal, especially for an entry-level gun. Most people don't need a 4-ounce trigger. It's pretty sketch for people that haven't used it before. With me, I just put my nub on it, I feel it, okay, boom, it goes off, which is quite nice. But for your average person under stress and things like that, it can get a little hairy. So, great choice for trigger. Next, they run a Ballistic Advantage barrel, which is, I think, a sister company of Aero Precision. I believe they own them now. I honestly was going to rip the barrel out and put in a proof pre-fit, because literally all I run are proof barrels on like all of my stuff that I build. I'm not a sponsor by them. I used to be back when I shot professionally, but now I just buy all my barrels at retail cost and still choose to do so because I truly believe they are the best barrels on the market. However, these 20-inch Ballistic Advantage barrels have way outperformed my expectations. We're gonna show some distance shooting today out of this thing, and it damn near shoots as good, if not the same, or maybe even better than my actual match gun, and it is irritatingly amazing. My actual match gun is worth like probably 5 or 6 times the amount of this gun, and it shoots just as good. So that definitely says a lot about the rifle itself. I've had quite a few students in my long range classes that I teach ask me what to purchase and get into the sport. They use all my trainer rifles and stuff like that and rental guns for the class, and always tell them, start with an Aero Solus setup, shoot that barrel out, and then spend all your money on glass. And then once you start shooting that barrel out and you get about 3,000 rounds through it, you'll start to know what parts you want to change and add on and do all that good stuff, but you have good glass, which is the most important part. Today we're running a Zero Compromise 5-27 on top. This scope has been through hell and back. I have shot the shit out of it, and it is still one of my favorite scopes. Like I said, Zico, Collis, Steiner, Schmidt and Bender. You run those 4 scopes, you'll have a great time. Today we're running the Zico, and we're going to first get a group downrange. My group shooting may suck, but we're gonna do some doubles and maybe some triples at 1400, and that will beat my groups all day. So let's get into it. All right, so I figured we could shoot some paper targets and be boring and stuff, but I think going straight on out to a grand and doing some cool stuff and then hitting 1450 is the way. So if you guys want to see some groups, comment down below and I'll shoot some paper for you. But I think hopping into this next little task will be way more interesting. So I wanted to kind of utilize or show you guys how useful of a tool the Trigger Cam 2.0 can be. So what it does is it actually allows you to see what you're doing through your scope. So it records everything and gives you a real-time look on what is going on down the gun. So with that, I have a 1,000-yard target downrange that I'm going to shoot from this position and only looking at my phone. So we're gonna go ahead and send a shot and see what happens. Mr. Twig, 3, 2, 1. That sounded pretty centered up. That's pretty damn insane to be able to do that. I'm not gonna lie. And you can get really creative with things that you could do with that. I'll let you guys comment down below what you think it would be helpful and useful for. So now we're going to go into doing some doubles. A double is gonna be 2 rounds on the target before you hear the first impact. So I'm gonna have to shoot, rack, shoot, and then wait for the call or report, whatever the hell it's called. So we're gonna go ahead and hop on that. Mr. Twig, are you ready? Both of those, it's fucking awesome for a $1,800 rifle. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Action's stupid smooth. It's insanely accurate. We have I guess it's about an 8-inch plate at 1,000. It's a head target. It's got ears and a skinny little head. We're gonna see if we can smack that bad boy, and then we're gonna move on out to 1450. So this shouldn't be too difficult after being able to hit all the other stuff. We're gonna try and hit a triple at 1400, but smacking this thing is getting kind of hard to cycle fast, but we're gonna see if we can do it anyway. All right, Mr. Twig, let me know where I'm at. It's over right. Okay, I'm gonna hold a little left. I'm gonna hold dead center then. It's really hard to see through the trigger cam. It does affect the quality of what you're seeing through the glass. So seeing in a shadow right now is kind of difficult to spot impact, so I'm solely relying on Mr. Twig back there. Another one. Bink! 3 shots, 1 headshot. We'll take it. Now for the finale. We're gonna try and get a triple. We're gonna hit 1 shot first, pop Mr. Smiley down there, make sure we got our dope, and then we're gonna send it. All right, so in ultra low light, the trigger cam is just not it. And we're getting pretty much there. So we pulled this off and we're gonna make it happen now. So 1450, here we go, Mr. Twig. I saw that. We'll come up 1. Yep. Same spot again. So I've had 3 bullets literally hit the exact same spot, right on the corner. So we're gonna give that more. We're gonna go up a little bit. Ready? Okay. So now it goes on the other side. All right, well, we didn't hit it 3 times. It's so hard to see. We at least hit it once. We smacked Smiley. The sun's done went down too far to actually be able to spot impacts as well as differentiate the target from the bushes that are over there. So being able to make up actual follow-up shots and have correct data is getting really, really difficult. So instead of wasting a lot of ammo and making this video drag out longer than it needs to be, we're gonna call it there. We'll bring this bad boy back out whenever we do some more long range footage. So if you guys like what we're doing with the long range stuff, make sure you comment and let us know. But final thoughts for this setup, 10 out of 10 recommend. If you're looking to get into PRS or more of the practical long range shooting, even hunting, the Aero Solus is a great entry level setup, even for the more experienced and advanced shooters that wanna really start to hammer down on the sport by buying more ammo or loading more ammo and having a higher quality optic, but you're still on that budget. This setup is incredible for it. Even if you're wanting to start now and obviously add on to your setup down the road, the Aero Solus action is a great action to build off of. You can get all the other bang for your buck parts, or all the parts that you would rather have, like the chassis and the barrel and stuff like that, and still build it on a great action for a great price. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Make sure you go and like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you, Aero Precision, again for sending this out. Again, sorry I didn't smack the 1450 as much as I wanted to, but we had a long day today. So again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. YouTube hates me and guns together in the same spot, so that's why I'm so far from the algorithm I can't even see it. It really helps a lot, and if you like what we're doing with the long range stuff, make sure you let us know. And until then, make sure you train harder, and remember, no excuses. It's just reasons why I couldn't hit that target.